Welcome back to Good Moms, Bad Choices.
I'm Erica.
And I'm Milah.
And it's Wednesday.
It's hump day.
And it is the first week of August. Welcome to August, you guys.
Welcome to August. Wow, this summer is...
It's almost over.
It's almost over.
It's crazy. I can't believe it. So you guys know that we have been, diving into themes all year. And we've been reflecting, we've been slut-evering, we've been
celibate,
we've been tribing, we've been, what else?
Moneying.
All the things.
We've been manifesting.
And so, I don't know, we've been doing all this work, and I've been thinking, and Milah and I have been thinking, like, what is August? What is the vibe of August? And I'm feeling like the vibe of August is designing your own life.
Yes. Welcome to Design Your Life August.
Me and Milah just came back from a trip of Costa Rica, which we'll get into. But I think it's really inspired us to really rethink, what our lives look like. And I think we've already been kind of designing our lives in general. But, I think we're, excited about this new part of the design.
I think it's when you start to manifest your life and then you start to see it take mold, then you're like, oh shit, I can really design this motherfucker. Couch goes there, Jack goes there, house in Brooklyn goes there, I need a little casita over there and a jungle house over here. So now it gets into the specifics of the design.
You know what? I just had this thought because I've been making her listen to just old school, soul and funk. And there's this Diana Ross song that I fucking love. And I played it for her and I was going to be really hurt if she didn't like it because I fucking love this song. But I forgot about it. And then I recently, in the last 2 days, and we're having this conversation, it just popped into my head. It's called It's My House. And it's it's my house and I live here. It's my house. And she's talking about designing her house, see that table over there? I put it there. I put this shit there. I put that there. And I placed that there. And everything is perfectly put where the fuck I want it. And it's
she was
my
talking about
house.
Designing her house.
She is. And she was saying, you really want to come over. You really want to come over. But you're going to have to show me that you're not going to fuck my house up. And when you're thinking about designing your house, you're thinking about the guests, too, that you're going to have at your house. And
who can sit at the table?
I really, you guys should go listen to that song. It's bomb. I'm going to put it in the link here. It's bomb.
Now I got to go listen to it.
It's really good. And Irie's been requesting it this morning. She was like, can we hear the It's My House song? I was like, yes, we can.
But it's true. She was right. And maybe that's our affirmation for the day. My life is my house, and I design it exactly the way I motherfucking see it. Beautifully.
Bomb. My life is my house, and I design it exactly the motherfucking way I see it beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Amen. So, yeah, Costa Rica inspired Design My Life August.
And what are the cards going to say about our August designing life?
Let's see. Well,
So I pulled the Page of Cups, and I have no idea what this means, but we shall find out. Or do you have it?
I thought you looked it up.
I did. Okay. So we pulled the Page of Cups, upright, creative opportunities, intuitive messages, curiosity, possibility. The Page of Cups wears a blue tunic with a floral print and a beret on his head with a long flowing scarf. He stands on the shore with the wavy sea behind him, holding a cup in his right hand. Surprisingly, a fish pops its head out of the cup and looks at the young man. The fish and sea behind him represent the element of water and all things to do with creativity, intuition, feelings, and emotions. The Page of Cups suggests a new idea or opportunity has come to you out of the blue. Your creative energy is flowing, and now the question is, how will you express it? Will you snap up this new idea and turn it into something, or will you let someone else bring it to fruition? It's up to you. Spend time exploring the idea you see to see if you want to move forward. I feel like this is speaking to our possible shift into a network, possibly. This card often appears when you're being called to trust your intuition and be open to the multitude of intuitive messages coming your way. Look for synchronicities. Look for synchronicities. I'm going to start using that word. And signs from nature that will guide you on your path. They may come from unexpected places, or they may not even make sense to your rational mind. Be open to the possibility and ready to discover new aspects of yourself. Page of Cups can indicate that you will receive an unexpected or pleasant surprise. The pages are often known as the messenger cards. Oh my God, it says it might be the birth of a baby. Relax. An engagement or marriage, a new love interest. Susan said I'm going to find love, you guys.
Susan also said that I'm going to have a really good idea in the beginning of August.
Oh my God, wait, she did.
Oh my God. There's a lot of pressure on me.
Susan. Okay, if you guys don't know who Susan is, she's a world-renowned astrologer, Susan Miller, and I've been following her since like I was 13. Go to astrologyzone.com. This is not an ad. This is just pure love. And go read your horoscope. She does these like monthly horoscopes where they're like 9 pages long. Anyway.
Oh, wait, there's just something you missed.
Oh.
Or maybe I just didn't hear it. It needs to be repeated. Open your mind to all possibilities, especially those of a creative or intuitive nature. You will be pleasantly surprised. Be ready to dream the impossible dream and explore the magic of your fullest potential, even if it seems out of reach. Design your motherfucking life. Okay, now, if Biddy said it,
it must be true.
Susan said it. The card said it.
I believe it.
'Tis the season, bitches. If it's not working, leave it behind.
Amen.
Amen. Oh my God, you guys! Wow, it's been a really long time since we've sat here together alone. So much has happened. You know, sometimes I'm like, obviously this is divine meeting, but one of our friends told Erica on the phone the other day, like, you know, you don't live like what did she say, a normal life? She's like, you know, you guys just don't live a normal life. And then Erica told me, and I was like, we don't. The shit that me and Erica get into together, I swear to God, it's the best shit ever. It's almost like God is like, you want content? You want some shit to talk about? How about now? Anyway, a long time ago, 4 weeks or so ago, Erica and I decided we were going to take a journey to the jungle.
And we did. We journey.
It did.
We drove hours into the deep jungle to be isolated because that was the goal, like complete isolation. Let's go as far as we can.
Yes. And who cares how we get there? Even if you spend $2,000 on a rental car and go through 14 farms, 300 fruit stands.
It was all worth it.
Transported an ounce of weed in nature's pocket.
Only to find out that all we had to do was put it in a deodorant container.
Yeah. Well,
shout out to Problem.
Shout out to my pussy.
True. Thanks, pussy.
The major shout out.
The whole ounce that Jamila put in Nature's Pocket lasted the whole trip, and she was quite worried it wouldn't. But literally, the last day we were there, we had enough to take with us in the car to the ride to the airport.
One joint. Actually, yeah.
It was perfect.
It was the perfect amount of pussy weed. So how much weed can your pussy supply you? 2 weeks worth.
After that, it's on you, dog. I don't know.
My pussy personally can supply about 2 people for 2 weeks worth. If all the supermarkets, all the dispensaries go out of style, my personal Nature's Pocket, 2 weeks.
Impressive.
No, we had a really beautiful trip. We flew to Costa Rica. I almost said for sure that's my last time flying coach, but fuck, it's not. We have 2 coach flights booked. After those 2, I'm done. It was not very comfortable. Fuck. Was it United? No. Was that Delta?
It was. No, it was United.
But I thought we went to the special check-in when we checked in.
It was Delta.
Wow. I'm disappointed. Wow.
The airlines are going downhill.
Yeah, I don't know. Give a fuck. I think Delta brought in a United plane. It was very small. They added a row, and there was a regular sized man next to me, and I felt so bad for him because I'm like a below average small woman, and I felt like I was gonna fucking kill myself. So I was just like, God, this is like slave labor. This is not good.
Relax. Relax.
No, Coach is not it. I'm not kidding. Anyway, we made it to Costa Rica bright and early at 6 a.m. We thought we had thought everything through very well, but we didn't, because we arrived at 6 we arrived at 6 a.m., but we booked a flight to the other coast at 3 p.m.
We thought we were going to go explore the city, but then apparently it's not that easy.
There's nothing really to do in San Jose. I mean, yeah, San Juan? No,
It was just like too risky to go there, come back. We were going to miss. Everyone made it seem like it was just don't leave the airport.
No, nobody made it seem.
They did. No, yes. TripAdvisor said.
Listen, we didn't do any research until we literally were landing.
Yeah, well, first of all, we almost missed the flight. Just so you know, guys, if you ever go to Costa Rica, you need travel insurance. They won't let you board the flight until you prove that you have insurance, which we bought the insurance as the flight was boarding.
No, we get there. The guy is talking so slow. We're checking in. He's like, "Oh yeah, you need to download this thing, but I'm gonna let you guys go through for right now." And we're just like, "Okay," but he keeps talking, so I'm like, "Must not be important." He's letting us through. Whatever. We get to the gate. We're sitting there. This is two bitches that shouldn't travel together because we don't do enough research during COVID, or at all. And so we get there and we just start hearing announcements like, "If you do not have traveler's insurance proof, you will not board this flight." I said again, if you think you're gonna get on this flight without travel
people
insurance,
get here and they get mad.
The people get here and get mad, and they have to go home because they did not get travel.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
So here we go, me and Erica looking at each other. Excuse me, sir, did you get travel insurance to go? He's like, oh yeah, we got that shit 2 weeks ago. I'm like, do you mind sharing the link with us? Because these two dumb bitches didn't do it. We're in there. Of course, the airport Wi-Fi is fucking up. The line is boarding. Me and Erica are sweating because
sweating like, and they're supposed to get a QR code that they're supposed to message you. It might take a few minutes or maybe hours, who knows. But finally we get the QR. It finally went through. Literally, we're the last people to board the flight. Like, we almost didn't even make it to the
Erica just looking over my shoulder, like looking at the line. I was like, stop, relax. Just you're fucking. We made it. Yeah, we boarded the flight. I have a fucking ounce of weed in my pussy. We almost didn't get on. I'm sweating bullets. Then we get on this tiny ass, fucking whack ass, low grade Delta fucking seating. We take the red eye because we're gonna have the whole day there. We get there
tired,
and for some reason, international and domestic airport is next door to each other, but not close. Like, we had to push our big ass, fucking huge, all of our bags from like neighboring airports, which was not fun at 6 a.m. only to get to the smaller airport to be like, are there any other flights that are not at 3 p.m.? No. And you can't check into this one for about 4 more hours because it's 6 a.m. And then there's like 3 sad rocking chairs in the airport. So I'm like, we're just sitting on the rocking chairs. I'm like, we can't sit here for 8 hours. It's just not... It's not realistic. We read TripAdvisor when we got to the airport. Everyone's like, don't leave the airport. You're going to miss your flight. There's nothing to do. And there's 20 minutes away. There's a mall. There's nothing to do. So we're like, fuck it. Let's see if we can get a rental car and just drive. How many hours is it? It's like 3.5 hours, right? So we're like, fine, fuck it. We're just going to rent a car and drive. We get the car. We have to like put somebody's credit card up to
like $6,000 like hold on the car. It was just a lot. It was a lot, but we did it.
We did there. We got in the car. Sorry. Erica did all that bitching about me bringing weed, and I was like, bet bitch wants a blunt now. Bet a bitch wants a blunt.
I told you that I will be smoking that weed, that I'm just not going to put it in my nature's pocket. I'm going to let you handle that. You seemed fine with it. So I was like, okay, what, you going to smoke alone? I knew you weren't going to smoke alone. So I knew that either way you're going to be pissed. I was still going to get that weed.
Luckily, we had weed for the 3.5 hour trip that
It was a beautiful drive.
It's very jungle.
We found, like, we went and ate this, like, we stopped in this tiny town, ate breakfast, and then
bought all these delicious fruits.
Yeah.
We ate at it. It was a school bus converted into a highway restaurant. I'm pretty sure I saw the cook try the food with a spoon.
That's pretty standard.
Okay, well, I guess. Then we drive through farms and backwoods and jungles.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, the GPS
oh God.
The GPS says we're almost there, but I don't see any ocean. I don't see any mountains.
I was like, so before we also went, we researched I don't know how this came up. It was a search. It was like, where do famous people live in Costa Rica? And it was like Guanacaste, Mel Gibson. And I was like, so Mel Gibson lives where we're going.
You're like Mel Gibson has a house here. I'm like, oh, so it must be luxury.
As we're driving, getting closer, I'm like, this seems like where Mel Gibson would live. Like, it seems very Mel Gibson-y.
I'm like, yeah, it's getting richer for sure.
It's very rich over here. Big mountains, gates. I see, I can't see the houses, but I know they're there. And then it says we've arrived, but we're at an intersection in a farm. And I'm like, wait, where are we? So then we call the Airbnb host, and she's like, I don't know where the fuck you are. She's but like, if you go 4 miles past the palm tree, make a right.
You see the gas station?
You see that gas station? It's on the left with a tree next to it, and you make a right, and you go down 4 miles and make.
Then she's like, send me a picture of where you're at. It's literally just a farm.
But we were about an hour and a half from where we were supposed to be.
So we had driven 3.5 hours to nowhere, only to have to drive another hour and a half to wherever the fuck we were going because we were not in that place. So, yeah, it was about a total of a 6-hour drive after a 6-hour flight, after a change of plans from a flight to a car.
But you know what? When we got to the fucking Airbnb, it was so goddamn beautiful.
It was fucking beautiful.
That it was all worth it. And so, yeah, we stayed in. I'm not even gonna say what town we stayed in because I don't want anyone to go. But we stayed in a really small town that no one should know about except us, unless you're our friends. And we met a lot of Canadian people. We met some really cool people. What I will say about Costa Rica is that no matter what side of the country that you're on, there's a real sense of peace and community over there. People want to help you. We met these guys that didn't know us from a can of paint and were fucking assisting us in all things possible. And I don't know, just the vibe there really made me rethink too, be appreciative of my tribe, but how important community is. And out there, that's why so many people I think are moving out there too, because you don't get that here. People are
hey, how can I help you? They're how can I help you? What do you need? Yeah, that's true. It was just quiet and chill, and you saw the same 10 people every night. And we took surf lessons for the first time. I mean, this is my first time. We stood up on the board. We had a really peaceful, chill time.
I felt like a grown ass adult.
For sure, was a grown up. It was a very grown up.
It was raining one day. We ran to a bar. I feel like Carl Thomas' Summer Rain was about to start playing.
And we were about to go. We just ran out to get wine, and then we just heard this beautiful voice calling us to the bar.
It was like a siren in the rain.
And we were literally back at the car, and I was like, should we go in there? She was like, yeah, we should. We followed the mystical voice, and then met 2 best friends 2 girls could ever have, Chuck and Simon.
Yeah.
We did. Chuck and Simon were so nice to us, and they talked to us, and I danced a little bit.
We drove the siren home.
We drove her home because she needed a ride home, and it was raining, so she couldn't drive her bike. We looked at property. What else did we do? We went to a lot of adult dinners. Erica drugged me one morning with a microdose of mushrooms along with some vitamins, and then I forgot I took them, and I was sweating at breakfast. I'm like, what are you feeling weird? She's like, no, I'm fine. And then I was like, bitch, you gave me mushrooms.
You knew it.
I forgot. So that was weird. Erica got a happy ending.
I did. It was great.
And the night after that long flight, we got a massage, and she went.
All I'm saying is, I share this story on our episode of Horrible Decisions that actually comes out this week. So if you want to hear my massage story, go check us out on Horrible Decisions. But basically, what I have confirmed is that all massages should end in coming. It's not complete unless you came, because it's the ultimate release. Why have I not known this? And I was kind of drunk when it happened, but I couldn't wait to tell someone because I felt like I had just fucking discovered gold.
She thought she was in the good old boys club.
I did. I text a group. Actually, I group text a group text that we're on with full of men, because I felt like niggas been doing this shit forever. Like, what? I'm part of the group, and now I get it. I understand. I'm like, you guys, guess what?
Literally like 11 o'clock at night. Like, guess what I just did? I'm like, bitch, relax. Then she comes in like, you should do it too. I'm like,
I know, she was pissed because she was like, I don't want him to touch my pussy. I was like, he's not going to touch your pussy. Relax. Like,
but you should. If he tries, you should let him because woo, it was great.
It was great.
She looked all drunk and all happy. I'm like, relax.
It was great. It was, it was consensual and it was wonderful. And I highly recommend.
I'm gonna have to get that on the bucket list. Anyway,
I'm sure there's a few spots here in good old Woodland Hills that can support your.
You think Woodland Hills?
Yeah. The Valley is the place that is the porn massage capital.
Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind.
There also is that website. I can't remember what it's called, like Rub Maps.
Is that for women, though? Does Rub Maps specify?
I mean, I don't think it specifies for any. I'm sure mostly men are on Rub Maps, but I'm sure women can go on Rub Maps, too, and find local massage parlors that can rub it out for them.
There's always those sexy massage therapists online now doing all that extra shit.
You can find a sexy motherfucker on Instagram that will rub it out. Okay, I'm just saying.
If anyone knows anyone, slide in my DMs.
Pay them for their services. Jamila, my wife, tipped him for me.
I did. I was like, here you go.
I fell asleep. I was
drunk
out.
Ass bitch. Anyway, I turned 33. I felt very adult. We went to dinner and just chilled, and it was very adult, like very quiet and calm. And there were monkeys and lots of foliage, and it was wonderful.
There's mangoes on the floor. You pick up, you eat them. It's just great.
Like, I never felt like fruit was so sexual and orgasmic. I mean, I did feel that way once in Mexico on acid, but this was confirmed sober that fruit is, in fact, next to sex.
Yep, I agree.
It's very orgasmic. And then after that very chill time on the Pacific side for 1 week, we got back in our rental car and journeyed back to the center of the country so that we could go to the Caribbean side, which we heard the black people were at. So, we had to swing over there. We took a 14-passenger plane, which was kind of fun but scary. It stopped on like another little island, literally a jetway on an island on the beach.
It looked like we were flying in like onto the water. It
was beautiful. I want to get to that island, whatever the fuck island that was we stopped at. And then we made it back, and we rented another car. And
this time we drove 5.5 hours.
This time we drove 5.5 hours, and on a one lane road highway for 5.5. And like someone had already warned us, like, it's only one road in and out of that place, and if a tree falls or there's a mudslide, I was like, what?
I'm glad I didn't hear about this till after we did it.
No, he told us before.
I must have not been listening.
We drove 5.5 hours to the Caribbean side, and it's like,
yeah, but when we got there, it was like we unlocked the fucking magic of Costa Rica's magical period, but it was like, unleash the dragon. It's the only reference I could think of.
That was an amazing reference.
I feel like, yeah.
If you missed that while you were young. So we go, first of all, there's no addresses in Costa Rica. They literally drop a pin. There's like Poparia number 7, and we just like drove down a road. There was a beautiful black woman greeting us in a beautiful dress.
She was beautiful,
and like you couldn't see the house, but bitch, when she opened up the gates to this house, you could not motherfucking tell me I was not Princess motherfucking Jasmine. Okay. The house was motherfucking Jasmine. It was a magic carpet in that bitch. It was like the secret garden jungle. I was like, oh, you've made it. I was like, we're rich. I don't know how do we afford this,
girl? And
Costa Rica is not that expensive.
It was very not. No, it wasn't. It wasn't expensive. It was very affordable, which was amazing.
God was on our side, like literally every.
And then like we went out that night and like
no. You're like just going over so much.
I'm sorry.
There's a beautiful magical pool. There was a magical house. There was an outside shower. It looked like we were living in Bali. The kitchen's outside. The living room's outside.
We were living outside.
It was sexy as fuck. And then we're like, let's go get dinner on the town. And then we had this like amazing host who's from LA, a black woman from LA, and she owns this beautiful house. What a lucky bitch. Like, wow, I'm so happy you own this house. Then true. Then we drove to the town, and as we like creep up to the town, I hear like Caribbean tunes. I'm like, bitch, I think we're on the right side of the island. I could just feel the jungle people. I could feel the black people in the air. I could feel them. I was like, go, 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 go. We're here. We made it. And then so like right before we get out the car, I was like really feeling it. I was like, Erica, I just hope and wish, like, honestly, if I just get to have one like sweaty dance with a stranger, I'll be so motherfucking happy. Just like one sweaty dance.
She did say this.
I was just like, one just dance with one sweaty stranger. So of course she was just like, yeah, okay, whatever, bitch, let's go eat. We go to the beach, we watch this beautiful sunset and have this delicious bomb ass meal. We're like in deep romance with each other, staring into each other's eyes, telling each other how much we love each other and how grateful we are. Like taking turns going to the beach while we wait for our food and drink delicious cocktails. And right before we met everyone sitting next to us, including the owner of the restaurant, he gives us our check and he's like, are you guys going to go to the party? And I'm like, what? What did you say? He said, you guys going to the party next door? I was like, duh. I didn't know there was a party. He's like, yeah, Johnny's has a really good party.
Oh, Johnny's.
I was like, right now? He's like, yep, it's about to get started right now. I was like, I am a motherfucking manifester, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you know? The party just starts getting it cracking right there in front of our eyes on the beach under the full moon. And what do you see? Some niggas sweaty dancing.
Yep. Yep.
I was like, Erica, Erica, I made this party happen. She was like, I know.
Mm-hmm.
And I sweaty danced on some strangers.
Yeah, we did. We sweaty danced on some strangers. There were some fine strangers there, too. There were some unexpected future friends there that we made friends with later that we were like, who are these motherfuckers? Like Gilly. Shout out to Gilly the God.
Shout out to Gilly the motherfucking God. Like, we judged Gilly. We saw Gilly on the beach. He was wearing his Timberlands.
He had Timberlands in the sand.
And then he had like his like the cool trendy like
The dangling cross earring.
You know, the like, and like the wife beater with the muscles.
And a grill and chains. I was like, this nigga does not live here.
I'm like, this nigga is visiting.
He is
he's a tourist.
Miami or somewhere, the Bronx.
I'm like, he's from LA for sure. And then we were also talking about this other kid. We're like, he's like the ladies' man of Costa Rica. I could tell he trying to run game on all the bitches. She was like, yeah, he's a fuckboy for sure. Fast forward to about 20 hours later, the next day, because the town is very small. I met up with one of my girlfriends. Oh, Mo, who was on the show last month. Shout out to Monique. And then, you know, the fuckboy joined us. He became our friend. Later on, Gilly the God joined us. They both live there. They're not tourists.
Gilly's lived there for like 5 years.
It was just pretty magical to see like young people just say up and leave America and say fuck it and like set up shop in like this beautiful place where like it's just the things you think are important are really not important. And like when I say community, like everyone loves on each other. It's kind of like a little culty, like a culty love fest where everyone's just like really touchy feely and really like kind to each other. I'm like, is this a cult or is this real?
No, that is not a cult.
I'm just kidding.
I don't get cult vibes, but one of our the one I said was a fuckboy who's I don't think he's a fuckboy. He's actually really sweet. He was actually in a cult though. We did actually meet someone who was in a cult.
That's a trigger warning. I shouldn't just say cult all willy-nilly like that. I mean like a love fest.
Yeah, everyone was just really supportive, and it's continued like even past being there. Like I just can't believe that I didn't know that this place existed, but I also know that like everything shows itself when it's supposed to. And I might have not been ready to digest and accept what I experienced there.
And like even the party we went to, like there was moms on the beach with their kids. The kids are dancing, running around.
That's what I love.
Watching them.
Yeah.
The kids are just like the water free, just free, living their best fucking lives. And people are smoking weed. Nobody's worried about none of the shit that we'd be worried about. No one drives cars. Everybody has a bike.
Everyone's eating from the earth.
Yeah, everybody's eating fruits and like everything's from local sourced motherfucking places. And it's just,
you just feel healthy
and bliss, and your skin feels good. I was feeling so sexy there. I told Erica like 5 times, I'm like, I am so sexy in Costa Rica. Like Costa Rica makes me sexier. And it's true.
I agree.
I was sexier there. I
Me
felt
too.
Sexier. I was like, my skin was sexier. I felt kinder.
Kinder?
I did. I was happier. I was giving way more hugs. It was just great. We made a lot of friends. We thought we were locals. Even one night, I begged Erica to go to this party. They're like, yeah, Devin's party is tonight. It's open mic.
Dorian.
Whatever.
You always call her 400,000 names.
She was kind of mean to us.
She was nice later.
Okay, Dorian. We went to Dorian's party because, we're locals now. We have 5 friends. So, like, yeah, I'm going to tell Dorian you're coming. We met up. Shout out to Island Bruja. We met up with Island Bruja, who found us before we got there. She's living in Costa Rica. She found Good Moms because someone shared the hat, and she liked the hat. And then, like, weeks later, we're going to Costa Rica. She meets up with us. She's like, oh, you can go to Dorian's. I'll just text her, tell her you're coming. I'm like, okay. Erica's like, I really don't feel like going. I'm like, come on, it's open mic night. Like, in my head, it was like a full party.
Milah was gonna fucking make her fucking open mic debut. That's what this shit was. She couldn't wait.
So we drive to Dorian's in the night, and I drive.
Which never happens. I don't trust Jamila's driving.
I'm a great driver.
I let her drive.
I'm a great driver.
Are
She's
you?
a bitch. Yeah. Well, bitch, this is not my fault.
Okay.
So we're driving, and I'm like, oh my God, like, there's the house. We're in like a deep conversation, and I'm like, there's the house right there. And literally, as soon as I say right there, we drive into a ditch. But not like a regular ditch. Like, the back of the
whole car was off the ground.
The back 2 wheels were off. Like, the nose of the car. I don't know what kind of ditch. How the
fuck?
It
was a cliff.
It was like a cliff.
It was a baby cliff.
It was just like, da-da-da-da-da, boom. And I was like, we just like, so I was like, oh my God, she's gonna kill me. I'm like, oh no, is the car broken? We're like lifted off the car. I open the car door and it's like swinging, and I have to jump down. So we've put like $6,000 on the credit card to cover the insurance. So we're like not saying much. It begins to rain. So then we have to go.
Also, we're in the middle of the street.
We're in the middle of the street. So then we have to go into Dorian's house, where we don't really know Dorian because we thought we were locals 2 hours ago. And we get in there, and it's so mellow. And everyone's sitting on the floor, and there's like candles lit, and there's like poetry going. And it's like, I am me. She is she. I am deep as the sea. And everyone's like, and then it's like, then it really doesn't rhyme. It's like, and then it's so deep because, you know, I don't have any friends, but I do have friends, but I'm in Costa Rica. And then there's like a guitar playing. It's like, do, 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 do. And then here we come in like, first we're like, who the fuck are you two bitches? And we're like, hi, Dorian? They're like, it's like an abrupt stop to this terrible poetry. And they're like, our car is stuck in a ditch. Do you know a tow truck? And they're all looking at us like, a tow truck, bitch? You're in the jungle. And we're like, someone just, I was like, maybe someone could just come out and look at it. So 2 guys, like, no one's on any press time in Costa Rica. It's like, la, 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 la. There's nothing to do. There's nothing happening. So they come out, they look at it. Then I discovered that there's killer ants.
Oh, yeah. The killer ants on the floor.
The rain, the killer ants, the car is in a ditch.
Start biting our feet.
In the air. And these 2 guys are like, yeah, like, push it down a little bit. They're like,
barely.
They're like,
barely trying to help. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
So, you know, we're like LA bitches. We're like, we gotta get the fucking solution. What the fuck? Like, who has a tow truck? Somebody help us. And everyone's like, just come sit. And
yeah. Let's like pull some cars.
Yeah. So then we come in. They literally do nothing. And we're like, okay, well, I guess. They're like, the tow truck's not going to be open on Sunday.
Okay, so then someone starts honking outside because they were blocking the street. So
no, we go back in. They proceed like nothing just fucking happened. We're not having an urgent matter. They continue the terrible fucking poetry. Then someone starts honking outside. Erica goes, and she comes back, and she's like, yo, the guy said he can help us. We just have to get like 10 friends. And he's like, he's seen it 100 times. He said he can help us. And I'm like, so everyone's still like, and then we went to the tree, the party.
No, they were intentionally ignoring me. I was like, that's why I was getting pissed.
I could feel Erica's energy rising, and it was stressing me out because A, I forced her to come to the party. B, I drove into this dumbass ditch. C, her credit card is on this fucking stupid ass $400 million fucking insurance. And I can just feel her getting irritated. But I'm like, okay, I'm me. I'm like trying to feel the room. I'm like, there's going to be a perfect opportunity to rally everybody up. This is just not it. I'm like, okay, we've abruptly walked into their Zen nest, whatever the fuck is happening here. And now we're like pushing them to help us, even though they clearly don't give a fuck. But let me just go about this. I'm just trying to be the buffer. So then they pull out some fucking cards. And they're like, everybody pull cards.
They're like feeling cards.
They're like feeling cards.
Which we're gonna pull some. We're gonna pull some in a second.
So as we're talking shit, don't worry, we have some here. And then Erica's pissed, like she's fuming, and I'm like trying not to look at her because I'm stressed. So finally, I'm like, the cards get to us, and you would think that they would skip us, but no, they wanted us to go, even though we're having an emergency. So Erica's cards come, and she's like, oh, the time. It was like, when have you felt the most? The most adrenaline?
Yeah, the most adrenaline. And I said, probably birth. And when my car got stuck in a ditch in the front of the party and no one helped.
I'm like, if you guys could just please.
I'm like, you guys, there's a guy out there that can help us. I would really appreciate.
As soon as she got the
mic. I was
mic.
pissed. I was like, there's like 7 men in this room.
There was like,
fuck, you're not going to help us?
There was a total of 10 people at this love
and
fest.
most of them were men. Get your ass up and get on this goddamn car.
But they were so zenned out.
I don't give a fuck. I was like, one of them like intentionally was purposely. I was like, this is fake. Is this some fake tribe shit? I was like, these motherfuckers don't want to help us. I was pissed.
So I was like, so she's like, the guy said if we just get 9 people, I'm like, can you please, if you all can just. Please just come outside, everyone, right now, please, all at one time. If we could just give us 5 minutes of your wait. So then she goes and knocks on the guy's door, and he's like, he's done this before because I don't know who the fuck allowed this ditch to be this deep into the middle of the street. He comes out. We all jump on the back of this car. I'm in the front seat, slamming on the fucking reverse. So like, please God, get this fucking car out of here so I don't have to hear him out. I'm like, they're like pushing. I'm like, please God, and then finally like. And it fucking backs out because 20 people are sitting on the back right corner. And there's not a fucking scratch on this fucking vehicle.
It was a miracle.
It was a goddamn miracle. Anyway, I'm not driving any rental cars in a foreign country ever. Okay, and then after that, we went to hang out with Gilly the God, which was fun, you know. We had a really good time, minus that little incident.
But then, like, you know, after leaving there, and then I feel like we went from like the real jungle to the concrete jungle, back to work, back to our kids. But even still, like, seeing, like, I'm even like when I was there, I was like, wow, I'm here with my best friend. I'm putting my daughters in camp. We're recording. I'm following my dreams. I'm interviewing fucking dynamic guests that, like, who else is going to have a conversation with, like, a dominatrix on a Tuesday at 12 p.m. with her sub? Like, those are the kind of conversations, like, I want to be having. Like, I don't want to be up in an office. No offense to those that are, but that's just not the way I'm designing my life. And I'm realizing that I truly have designed my life. And I think going to Costa Rica was a reminder too of, like, not only like career wise how I want to be and like my goals and, you know, having access, which sometimes correlates with having income, but like how I want to live. How I want my body to feel. Like.
Literally, that's what I kept telling. I was just like, I feel my body feels better. I'm literally, we're naked like 90% of the trip. I mostly peed outside. I mostly showered outside. I mostly ate fruits. Like, I felt connected to the earth. And you know what? I felt like such a powerful download, like a message of like, everything that you need, there's an abundance of it. Like, everything in Costa Rica is so plush and so, like, you could see so rich. You could see the earth bearing its fruit, you know? And I just felt so cared for and protected, and like everything I needed right there I had, and everything else that I was worried about I didn't have to be worried about. And even to the point of me manifesting a sweaty dance party. And like, even we you know, when we got there, we're like, God, I really want to share this experience with our community. You know, like, this other people have to come here. And even into the point where after like 3 days, I was like, it is so fucking necessary that moms go on trips without their kids. Cause we're moms. We were having guilt of not bringing our kids. We were having, the scheduling at home wasn't going smoothly. Niggas say they're going to show up. They don't show up. And you feel guilty. Should I be here doing this for this extended amount of time? But I'm like, this is so fucking necessary. And honestly, like, I encourage it right after you have a baby. Like, it should be normalized to go on a long vacation every year without your family. You should have to do it, because you have to be able to, and for an extended time, because it took Erica and I at least like
4 or 5
days to like
decompress
and then like really be in it, and like I was even talking about like, how do we bring our community here? How do we develop like do a trip together where we can manifest, because Eric and I have had the blessing of being able to really see our manifestations come to life, to the point like I'm looking over at my best friend like, I can't believe like we did this, like we didn't win this on the radio. We paid for this. Yeah. We are adults. And then like, how do we find the best Airbnb?
Through following our dreams.
Through follow, like just being us. And just like, we went to New York and had these crazy conversations with our friends, and we're smoking weed, and we're interviewing a dominatrix, and then we're turning it over and interviewing best friends and crying and about how much we love each other.
And then we're hanging out with our kids, and then it's just like, I realize, and then so you saying like, my friend was like, you guys don't live normal lives. I'm like, I think everyone's version of normal is different, but no, I don't. And I've never wanted to. And that's the life that I want to continue to live.
I want to be able to be 100% myself and be authentic and fuck up and cry and be vulnerable. And when I'm not being vulnerable, check myself, and my friend be able to tell me. And also like, just be able to put our kids in camp together and get a babysitter and, go to the sex party at night and laugh about it the next day and like still be good moms and still do the things. And it's just, it's such a beautiful journey. And I love it here.
No, same. But I think too, like going back to, being able to connect to yourself and to nature and wanting to bring our tribe there, like, I'm just so excited because we were like, how do we do this? And like, when I tell you the power of like me and Jamilah's entity it's something really special. And like, you too can have that with your friend, like with your soulmate or whatever that looks like. But me and Jamilah we were like, we need to do this. And then we met a woman, and then
literally we're like, we need to host a retreat in Costa Rica. It should be, it should be all of these things that we're experiencing. And literally like that day I went to go eat lunch with my friend who lives in Costa Rica, Monique. And then she introduced me to this woman. She's like, hello, like I coordinate retreats. I've done it for years. I did it on a major level in like Ibiza or some shit. I'm like, oh, did ya? Well, thanks God. I'll take it, And I told her, I was like, yo, it's crazy that I'm meeting you right now. Like, I was just talking to my partner about this, and it's literally every single thing that we wanted that we got, like to the very small, even down to our friends. When we got there, we were just talking, look at them, like, and we asked for those friendships, and it's just like, even in our very small virtual manifestation full moon thing that we did, we had people come, write in and say like, I manifested this and this came to fruition. And I do believe there's power in doing shit together.
Absolutely.
I do, like when you harness your energy, like first of all, feminine energy is so fucking divine and goddess. It's literally creative energy. We create life, and when we put that shit together like the red tent style in a tropical holy place like Costa Rica, and you come vulnerable and you come like open and ready to connect, that shit is motherfucking powerful. So like, yeah, I'm super super excited to announce that we are doing a retreat in January in Costa Rica 2022.
Yeah, I'm so excited that it's January too, because I feel like, we all know, like, at the beginning of the year, we're always focusing on like, okay, what are the things that we're reevaluating about last year, ourselves. But sometimes it takes like a few weeks into January for some reason to like really like, okay, what is it that I really want to do? And like, I just feel like making this commitment to yourself really, and coming back to yourself and saying, I'm going to do this for me. Like there's something so powerful about that. And then us all coming together, I'm just really excited to meet the people that, you know, are committed to themselves, because those are the people I want to be attached to. Those people, not attached, but connected to, you know.
Well, when you're manifesting, yeah, you need people who are on the same page as you, and we need to like nurture our dreams and nurture each other and like take time to do that. It's important. Even in Costa Rica, I was like, it feels good to just do whatever I want, like just nurture myself, listen to my body. And the times I've experienced the most like shift in my energy and in myself, like my ability to reflect and dig deeper, is when I'm most silent and most in nature. Right. So like doing that as a community is going to be bomb.
And there's such magical people and healers out there, you guys. I can't wait for you guys to see what's out there and meet the people out there. It's just like, it's, oh my God, I miss Lonnie.
I miss Lonnie too. Yeah, we have a Costa Rican grandmother. Thank you, Monique, for retaking all your people. We went to visit this like magical divine. It was like going to meet God. It was like, hey, do you want to come meet God? Come with us. Come up the mountain and come meet her. And we did. We like
went up the mountain.
Lonnie sent us with her friend from Germany or Sweden. We just went through like muddy back jungles, down a hill up until we found this beautiful untapped into waterfall, and we just like sat there, and it was just so
purifying,
powerful. It was loud. It was roaring.
It was roaring,
and it was like you couldn't even go under it because it was just heavy. It would probably break your back. And it just rained, and we screamed and we yelled and we cried, and we just like sat in that bitch for a minute, like to absorb, but like whatever energy we wanted to absorb, and it's powerful.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so should we do? Do you want to just should we pull one of these cards?
Okay, go ahead.
Real quickly. So we have this game. You've heard us talk about it. It's called We're Not Really Strangers. And in the spirit of designing your life, I think a lot that comes with designing your life is reflection. You must reflect, figure out what it is that you want, what it is that you need, what it is that you don't need. And so there's a reflection card in here. So I'm just going to pick anyone. Hopefully it's not crazy.
It's so deep.
In one word, describe how you feel right now.
Hi. Hi, happy, grateful. I can't do one word. I talk a lot. Where'd you pick from?
This is reflection, and then this is, what is this?
Perception. Mm-hmm. And what's the middle one?
Connection.
Okay, should I do another reflection? Since we're designing our lives, we have to reflect.
Okay.
This is interesting.
Huh.
What can we create together? What can't we create together?
Anything we want.
Anything we fucking want. Yeah. Oh, that was a good one. Okay, let's try another one, because that's
for the entity. This is for the entity.
This is for the entity. Okay. What?
Is it a wild card?
No, it's not a good one.
It's not a good one.
What do you admire most about me?
Your capacity for love.
I admire most about you. There's a lot I admire about you. I admire your ability to have boundaries. It's beautiful.
Okay, so the opposite thing. Like your capacity to love, your capacity to say "fuck you."
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Thank you. I thank you. I received that.
Do we have it, Hori?
Yeah, let's read our Hori, and then we'll.
But then, if you guys want to know more about things we're not going to talk about New York.
Oh yeah.
In more detail, because
we did go to a sex party.
We did some field research.
We went to study. It was a group study.
It was. We went out into the field.
We got into the field, collected.
We needed to collect some data in the field.
We wrote some things down, took notes.
We're journalists, so of course we had to do the research in the field.
Did a lot of field work, but yeah, you can hear that on our Patreon. We talk about our experience at a party that was pretty life-changing for me.
It was life changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like solidified some things for me.
Yeah, I think I could see that. I can understand that. Like, yeah, there's an openness that has to come with.
I don't even know. I'm not even going to reveal what it is, but just go listen to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/goodmomsbadchoices. We have that little story among other stories that we don't share here. So check that shit out. But we do have a Hori, and I thought it was a good one. Let me see. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Well, I thought I'd take this story to the grave, but apparently things change. I was 24 when my first marriage ended. On the first weekend my daughter spent with her dad's family, my friends planned a girls' night so I wouldn't be sad. I put on clothes I never would have been able to while I was with him, and we headed to the club. 2 hours in, I was feeling really nice, and that's when I met him. He had a thick Haitian accent that turned me on. We danced and made out like drunk lovers. At the end of the night, my scary ass tried to leave, but he gave me his ID, driver's license, and social security card so that I would trust him. Wow. I drove. What were we going to do with those cards if like you went missing though? Like
you take a picture, you send it to your friend.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay,
Good thing you don't steal credit.
Wow, okay. That's yeah, it's a good idea actually. I drove to his house while he was sucking on my titties. He didn't care who saw, and I didn't either. We went back to his house, and I got new dick for the first time in 6 years.
Woo!
Hallelujah!
Bring him home from the club and dick him down. Yes.
Yes, amen. I support this message. I was feeling so fucking liberated that I asked him if his fine ass roommate wanted to fuck me too.
I love it.
He did. At first I was nervous because they would switch back and forth between English and French. What? Wow. Oh yeah.
There's a lot of bilingual male female threesomes happening on Good Moms.
But yeah, speaking of the sex club, but they both found ways to cater to me without getting too close to each other. Come to think of it, that's probably what most of the talking was about. They wouldn't come close to each other,
or no, maybe because of how to pleasure her. I don't know.
Maybe they were conspiring to please you. That would be great. That's a great thought to think about. I slept over, and the next morning I felt like I needed to explain that was actually my first time doing something like that. Shame creeped in.
The shame creeped in. Oh no! What have I done?
Fuck.
I fulfilled my bestest dream.
I'm verified.
God blessed me.
Verified slut. I thanked him for treating me well and told him that after all I went through in my marriage, I felt so good to be free. He told me that from now on, whenever I wanted a safe space to do something new, I could call him.
Wow, he's a fucking saint.
I want to cry.
I know, that was beautiful.
I'm like, look at me, I'm getting emotional. That's so beautiful.
Sexual freedom is a gift.
Wow, that's it's safety for me is so important. It's for like a man to like
say
make you
feel safe.
Like
that is a good. I never thought it was that word because you think of it in a different way, but it is to feel safe, to just be like the creepiest.
Like it's okay, you know that you're gonna be good here.
Yeah, like yeah. I don't care about that. I love you.
We remained friends. We'd go out to eat.
She has really teary-eyed.
I know.
She's about to cry.
Fucking crying. I just feel like that just makes me happy to know that exists.
Right. There's men out there who says, "Oh my God, yeah. I love you enough to give you that."
You know what it is too? I cry because I can't go back. Like I am who I am. There's no going back. I've experienced too much. I've seen too many things. And I can't go back to whatever normalcy, whatever the fuck that looks like. I just know what I like. And
are you with it or not? Do you love me? Are we safe?
Right. Are we safe? We remained friends. We'd go out to eat, set up play dates for my daughter and his son, even have sex when we were in between relationships, just us and with others too. Even though we did wild shit together, he held me in the highest regard. And he held me in the highest regard, and I always felt like he was an ally. I recently found out that he was killed. Okay, now I'm really gonna cry.
I'm gonna cry too.
Oh no. I'll never forget all the liberation he brought into my life. Wow. This is the first. Ahori is making me really emotional.
You know what? I just feel like I think for women too. I think for free women and sexual women, it is hard to come by, and it is a gift. And honestly, shout out to you for fucking saying, "Hey, Want to try something? And saying it, because you know how many women wanted to not say it because like it's gonna be a train, I'm gonna be a slut, they're gonna think I'm a hoe, like all these things, you know. It's sad that we have to live our sexuality in like this quiet space. It's sad that we have to go around our sexuality wondering if it's offensive to anyone else, or if it's asking for too much attention, or if it's slutty, because men have the leeway to just slut it out even if it's fucking downright violent and disrespectful, and it's accepted and there's camaraderie around it. Like, to be a woman is to be sexual. You cannot remove the sex from femininity, from the feminine, from like, that's who we are. So it's so hard to come by a man who recognizes and sees who you are as who you are and respects you as such. Right. It's sad. It's almost to the point like, am I supposed to be more a different way? Am I supposed to be less sexual? Am I not supposed to express my sexual fantasies because it's too much for somebody? Right. And like, no, but you do have to know that there are going to be a lot of men that shame you, and even less men that like wrap around you and love on you and hold you to a high regard and, you know, respect you and help you live out those fantasies. Right. I'm really sad that he got killed.
That's why we have to teach our sons to be good men.
We have to. I think there should be a school for boys, a school for men to relearn their like. Well, fuck that. That's a lot of work. Jesus, it's like every man I've ever met. Anyway, that school's closed.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you sharing that, Hori. That was beautiful. But it's time for us to get out of here, guys.
Wait, one more thing I wanted to say that we missed. I don't know how we fucking missed this, but in New York, we had a fucking meetup.
Oh, yeah.
We met up, and the Hori made me think of it because the most innocent, sweetest face in the whole party was like, remember that the Hori about the me pegging the white man on Juneteenth? I was like, that was you?
Yeah.
I was like, girl, I would have not seen this little sweet face.
Never in a million years.
Never in a million years. So it's so nice to put faces with Horis. You never know
out here. Don't be knowing.
Yeah. I love you guys' stories, and I love you guys. It felt so good to just like wrap my hands around you and like chill and dance and vibe and eat and break bread. Hopefully we get to do more of that in each city, more dinners. So check that out. And yeah, you know where to find us. Rate and review us. And we love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.